Think you know your favorite films just by emojis? Let's find out. Dear quiz lovers, welcome to the Quiz Hub Emoji Movie Challenge. You'll see a set of emojis on screen, and you have 5 seconds to guess the movie. Ready? Before we proceed, please subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to get notified whenever new quiz video is posted. Let's jump right in. Question 1. Can you guess the movie? Answer: World War Z. A thrilling zombie apocalypse movie starring Brad Pitt. Question 2. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Harry Potter, one of the biggest franchises of all time. Question 3. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Frozen. And yes, Let It Go is still stuck in our heads. Question 4. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Lion King. Hakuna Matata forever. Question 5. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Jurassic Park. The T-Rex roar was made from a mix of animal sounds. Question 6. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Apollo 13. Houston, we have a problem. Question 7. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Spider-Man, one of Marvel's most beloved heroes. Question 8. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Bohemian Rhapsody, a biopic about Queen's Freddie Mercury. Question 9. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Interstellar, a breathtaking journey through space and time. Question 10. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Resident Evil, inspired by the hit video game series. Question 11. Can you guess the movie? Answer: E.T., the extraterrestrial, E.T. phone home. Question 12. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Finding Nemo, just keep swimming. Question 13. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Titanic, Jack and Rose's unforgettable romance. Question 14. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Doctor Strange, Marvel's master of the mystic arts. Question 15. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Martian, he survived on potatoes. Question 16. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Dracula, the legendary vampire tale. Question 17. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Minions, Banana. Question 18. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Transformers, robots in disguise. Question 19. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Cinderella, a timeless Disney story. Question 20. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Toy Story, the first full-length CGI movie. Question 21. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Fantastic Beasts. Question 22. Can you guess the movie? Answer: King Kong, climbing the Empire State Building. Question 23. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Frankenstein, the monster was misunderstood. Question 24. Can you guess the movie? Answer: School of Rock, Jack Black is a crazy teacher. Question 25. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Wall-E, a robot love story. Question 26. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Kung Fu Panda. Fidouche, the whooshy finger hold, is Poe's secret move. Question 27. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Lord of the Rings. One ring to rule them all. Question 28. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Matrix. Red pill or blue pill? Question 39. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Zombieland. Rule number 1, cardio. Question 30. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Gravity. Sandra Bullock floating in space. Question 31. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Notebook. A tearjerker classic. Question 32. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Snakes on a Plane. Question 33. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Captain America, the first Avenger. Question 34. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Lightyear, Buzz's Own Adventure. Question 35. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Question 36. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Godzilla, the King of Monsters. Question 37. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Only the Brave. Real firefighter heroes. Question 38. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Snow White. Question 39. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Dead Poets Society. Carpe Diem. Question 40. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Incredibles 2. Super stylish sequel. Question 41. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Winnie the Pooh. Question 42. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Wonder Woman, Amazonian Power. Question 43. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Robots, A World of Machines. Question 44. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Jaws, the ocean thriller. Question 45. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Total Recall, sci-fi action. Question 46. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Ratatouille, Anyone Can Cook. Question 47. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Wolverine, the Clawed X-Men hero. Question 48. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Inception, a dream within a dream. Question 49. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Back to the Future. The Time Machine is a DeLorean sports car. Question 50. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Up, the first animated film to open the Cannes Film Festival. Question 51. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Captain Marvel, the MCU's first female-led solo film. Question 52. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino won his first Oscar for this role. Question 53. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Nightmare Before Christmas, a stop-motion classic produced by Tim Burton. Question 54. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Wizard of Oz. The slippers were ruby in the film but silver in the book. Question 55. Can you guess the movie? Answer: It. Bill Skarsgård can move his eyes independently as Pennywise. Question 56. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Pirates of the Caribbean. Jack Sparrow was inspired by rocker Keith Richards. Question 57. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Castaway. Wilson the volleyball became an unexpected icon. Question 58. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Tom and Jerry, the movie. The cat and mouse duo first debuted in 1940. Question 59. Can you guess the movie? Answer, The Phantom of the Opera. Adapted from Andrew Lloyd Webber's blockbuster musical. Question 60. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Sherlock Holmes. Guy Ritchie's version amped up Holmes' action and wit. Question 61. Can you guess the movie? Answer, The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger won a posthumous Oscar as the Joker. Question 62. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Based on Roald Dahl's beloved children's book. Question 63. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Aladdin. Robin Williams improvised much of Genie's dialogue. Question 64. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Men in Black. The memory wiping gadget is called a neuralizer. Question 65. Can you guess the movie? Answer, The Good Dinosaur. Imagines a world where the dinosaurs never went extinct. Question 66. Can you guess the movie? Answer, First Man. Centers on Neil Armstrong's path to Apollo 11. Question 67. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Forrest Gump. Won Best Picture at the 1995 Oscars. Question 68. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Kong, Skull Island. Part of the monster-verse that includes Godzilla. Question 69. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. Won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Question 70. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Cars. Lightning McQueen's number, 95, nods to Toy Story, 1995. Question 71. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Avengers, Infinity War. Introduced the infamous snap that erased half the universe. Question 72. Can you guess the movie? Answer, The Princess and the Frog. Introduced Disney's first black princess, Tiana. Question 73. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Dawn of the Dead. Much of the action takes place inside a shopping mall. Question 74. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Dumbo. The 1941 original runs only about 64 minutes. Question 75. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Scream. Revived the slasher genre in the late 90s. Question 76. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Zootopia. Won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Question 77. Can you guess the movie? Answer, I Am Legend. Will Smith filmed in near empty NYC streets at dawn. Question 78. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Super Mario Bros. This is the first movie adaptation of the iconic Nintendo game. Question 79. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan avoided CGI whenever possible for realism. Question 80. Can you guess the movie? Answer, Guardians of the Galaxy. Groot only says, I am Groot, but Vin Diesel recorded 1,000 plus takes. Question 81. Can you guess the movie? Answer, The Hunger Games. The iconic salute from the film became a real protest symbol. Question 82. Can you guess the movie? Answer, The Little Prince. The original book has been translated into 300 plus languages. Question 83. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Little Mermaid. It revived Disney's animation success in the 1980s. Question 84. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Incredible Hulk. Lou Ferrigno, the original TV Hulk, had a cameo. Question 85. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Happy Feet. Robin Williams voiced two different characters in the movie. Question 86. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Chronicles of Narnia. The Lion Aslan's voice was done by Liam Neeson. Question 87. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Twilight. Robert Pattinson wrote one of the songs in the soundtrack. Question 88. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Elvis. Austin Butler stayed in character even off-set during filming. Question 89. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Maleficent. Angelina Jolie's daughter played young Aurora in the movie. Question 90. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Contact. The alien sounds were inspired by whale calls. Question 91. Can you guess the movie? Answer: My Little Pony. The series started as a toy line in the 1980s. Question 92. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Catwoman. Halle Berry won a Razzie for this role. Question 93. Can you guess the movie? Answer: How to Train Your Dragon. Toothless movements were based on a cat and dog mix. Question 94. Can you guess the movie? Answer: A Beautiful Mind. It's based on the life of Nobel Prize winner John Nash. Question 95. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Fantastic Mr. Fox. It was Wes Anderson's first animated movie. Question 96. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Hotel Transylvania. Adam Sandler voices Dracula. Question 97. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Alice in Wonderland. The Mad Hatter's hat shows the price tag, 10/6. Question 98. Can you guess the movie? Answer: 2001, A Space Odyssey. Stanley Kubrick built futuristic sets that still look modern. Question 99. Can you guess the movie? Answer: The Good Earth. It won 2 Oscars back in 1938. Question 100. Can you guess the movie? Answer: Rocketman. Taron Egerton sang Elton John's songs himself. And that's a wrap. You've just played through 100 Emoji Movie riddles. So, how many did you get right? Drop your score in the comments below and challenge your friends to beat it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Quiz Hub, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next brain-teasing quiz. Until next time, keep your brain sharp and your emojis ready.